And welcome back to the Survive Scale Soar Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy, and I'm excited about the guest that we have today. His name's Jerry Walker. He's brokered by LPT Realty. And before we jump into the show and I allow him to introduce himself, I just want to share with the audience this is episode 100. And so it's a really special episode, and I'm glad to have Jerry be a part of it. And I want to thank you for the support and the feedback that I get. And I trust that the information you're going to get today, just like every other episode, is going to help you grow in your business and in life as well. Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Jerry, you've been doing this business for about a little over 30 years now. And I want to talk about today the mindset that's required for that. And I believe there's a couple different stages. One is that new agent, having that mindset to just get that first deal, and it might take them 6 months, 8 months, but to have that mindset to keep going. But I want to talk about the mindset of being in it long term. What is the mindset that you need to have to go 30 plus years in a business such as real estate?
For me, I would say just, not giving up and just keep on getting up and going every day. That and linking up with some good mentors and try to learn what I can from them, especially as a new agent. But even as a seasoned agent, it's great to share ideas and learn new things, and that helps us a lot.
Do you think that there's sometimes even a bigger challenge with mindset because maybe you get to a place where your business is doing really well, and then
Mhm.
you hit that slump, and then your business does really well. How do you handle those times where you do find that ebb and flow of the business?
What I do is just try to refocus and get back to the basics and reaching out to my database and being purposeful about that and being consistent and just trying to remain focused in the busy times and the slow times, and the more consistent I can be, the better, and the better business is, definitely.
And I appreciate you sharing that. I think a lot of times we have, as agents, we have all these different ways of doing the business or being told it can be done this way or this way is better or use technology. And I appreciate you sharing just getting back to doing the basics and being consistent in that. Um, talk a little bit about consistency. What does that mean to you?
Well, on a perfect day, it would be contacting my database, making those contacts, doing lead follow up on a daily basis, uh, going on listing appointments. Um, but to do that, even when you've got a lot of business going, sometimes it's easy to get sidetracked and get off the main course here. So, but yeah, it would be reaching out to my database and making those calls every day.
And again, it's just that it's the basic sales process, right? And focusing on, okay, well, how do I get those appointments, and how do I
Right,
convert those
right,
appointments to buyers or to sellers? How do
right.
I get them to closing? And just doing that every day and making that part of your routine. Um, you've obviously been a highly successful real estate agent, and you've built a really nice business. We're going to talk a little bit about your services and where you're located here in a minute. One of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on this show, it's a challenge I have in my life. I can be very disciplined in very many areas, including business, where I'm extremely disciplined. But health has always been a challenge, and I know I've been able to talk with you, share some of the things that I'm doing, but you've had some amazing results, and I want to talk a little bit about that today. Is your health journey, because I think as a business owner, being successful in your business, one of the best ways you can do that is to have the health to be able
Yes,
to go and push through those times, and to be able to lead generate, for 2 or 3 hours at a time, to be able to go on appointments, all requires us to be in good health. So Take us back to when you made this decision that, hey, something's got to change in my life.
Well, I've had some success and failures in the past years with weight and trying to get more healthy. But finally, in June of last year, I was at my heaviest weight. I weighed 255 pounds, and I was out of breath frequently. Talking about doing your job and being out showing a house, I got to the point, I didn't even like to walk upstairs anymore. It would be out of breath and not sleeping well, not exercising consistently on a routine basis. And I just made the decision I was going to lose weight. And I set a goal for myself. My goal is 185 pounds. And like I said, I started at 255. The goal's 185. And today I'm at 220. So I've lost 35 pounds since June. I've done away with sugar. I've done away with probably 95% of carbs. I haven't had a slice of bread in over 6 months. I haven't had any pasta in 6 months. I've had a little rice. I've had a few flour tortillas. I've had some fish tacos. Have those occasionally, but very rarely. And cut out sodas, cut out alcohol. Drinking a lot more water, which is harder than it sounds. To make yourself drink, 8 to 10 glasses or bottles of water a day. And doing that, I started fasting, doing a short fast and even 24 to 48-hour fast, trying to do like 18-hour fast a week to where I'm only like in a 6-hour window where I'm eating. So that's just some of the things I started doing.
So I want to go back because I think this is important. Is you said back in June, like what were all the factors that went into you saying, hey, I'm just not going to do this anymore? Were there outside influences, like you wanted to do it for your family? Was it just for yourself? Was it for how others perceive you? What was a driving factor?
It was all of the above, and just I think the sugar is really it's funny how it works on you. And I find myself, I was eating 3 meals a day, and then at night I would snack on a big bowl of cereal or a bowl of ice cream, and I'd wake up in the mornings and I would feel ill. And I'd do it every night, just eat that big meal and eat late, and in the mornings I just feel terrible. I wasn't sleeping well. And again, all the reasons of above, being out of breath and uh, just feeling uh, pretty blah, with that much weight.
And I think the important thing here is, and if you're listening to this, is it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's either a choice to do it or a choice not to do it. But at the end of the day, it was still Jerry's choice, and he made it.
Mm-hmm.
And having some really, really impressive results. I know when I see Jerry, I see him even now. It's hard to even recognize him from just a few months ago, which is awesome and incredible, and a testament to you talking about consistency, being consistent and also disciplined to your goal. What has it done? You've shared with me a couple things. We don't have to go into all the gore and details, but just a couple things about, like, you've gotten your blood labs back and they've improved, and talk about some of those things.
Yes, I have mild high blood pressure, and I've been on medication for that for several years, and that was another motivator to get my weight down. I'm still on the medication, but my goal is to get down my weight down far enough and to exercise enough to where hopefully in 6 months, possibly I could be totally off this medication. Um, but yes, I have lab work done periodically for that medicine, and some of my triglyceride levels and some other levels were really, really high. But since I've lost this weight, all that stuff has come back to normal. And also, my blood pressure has come down, um, I would say about 10 points on both levels compared to what it was when I started this 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I just, I wanted to share this with the audience today because I know, especially with real estate agents and any small business owner that may be tuning in today, is that you can get so caught up in doing the work and building the business and doing stuff for everybody else that you forget to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know the factors or the situation. I have a pretty good idea of what happened to a friend and a colleague that I had just spoken to a couple Fridays ago, and then Monday had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
Yeah.
the challenges there with health, and you can only run so hard and your body's only going to support you based on the condition that it's in. So I think it's really important. I think it's a conversation that we don't have a lot. And I appreciate Jerry being vulnerable on that and sharing that. Men don't like talking about health stuff, but I think it's important that it is spoken about so that we can equip ourselves with information that is going to help us in making that decision and choosing to do better. So thank you, Jerry, for sharing that. I want to jump back into business. You've been in this a long time. You they when you get like myself 20 years and you're 30 years, we get looked at like dinosaurs, an anomaly that we've been in business this long, and it gives us the opportunity to have lots of experience. And if somebody were new in the business, let's say a year or less, and they're looking for advice from somebody that's seasoned and experienced in the business, been in this for a long time, what would you share with them to help them in their business?
I would encourage them to find a mentor, uh, another agent that they could work with, maybe a team or a coach, but definitely a mentor. I had some good mentors when I got in the business, and without that, I couldn't have made it, and I just couldn't have done it. And in addition to that, I I would say read good books. There's a lot of great books out there. Uh, I started using Audible a few years ago, and I love to listen to the books while I'm driving to appointments, driving to work, driving home. I still like to have the book as well, and I read those as well. But good books and mentors.
Yeah, I look back at my professional career and I had a coach, or I've always had mentors, but I'd also have a coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd invest in training,
Mm-hmm.
going and
Yes.
training specifically in
Yes.
those areas that might line up with your lead generation methodology for your business plan. But finding the training, don't have to take everything, but find the things that fit what you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's great advice. I support that 100% as a team lead myself and as a coach. 100% approval. So I appreciate that. And speaking of podcasts and books, I know you've shared some things with me over the years. What is your favorite book or podcast that you're listening to?
One of my favorite books is How to Win Friends and Influence People, and just basically that book to me, I try to read it once a year. I've read it multiple times over the years, and every time I read it, I get something out of that book. But there's a lot in there about how to get along with others, and just some very good lessons, life lessons that are in that book. Um, I think that book was written in I want to say the 1930s, 20s, but it's fascinating, the stories in that book and how applicable they are to 2025, and how applicable they are to anyone in business whatsoever, or life in general. Uh, that book has helped me with business and family and you name it. There's there's many other books out there, but that's just one that comes to mind that I've read many times over. I've listened to a lot of Zig Ziglar. I'm kind of dating myself there. Jim Ron, uh, uh, but there's a lot of folks out there to listen to.
Yeah, here's the thing though is, and that's what I love about the examples that you're giving, because those are all the ones I listen to and read. And How to Win and Influence People, I've read that almost once a year. It's one of those go-to books. Is
Right,
that, we have people out here that are always seeking the next thing. What's the next thing? What's the best thing that's out there? And there's already some really great content, that I call it evergreen content, like it's never going to change.
right,
And a lot of the ones that you were speaking about talk to relationship, and real estate's hugely a relationship business. I just got back from a luncheon and we were talking about this specifically, is that it is a relationship business. So, don't necessarily go look for all the new stuff. Go look for all the stuff that's tried and true. And I appreciate that. And I listen to Jim too,
oh yeah,
and Zig, and they're great guys. I love their cadence,
yes,
and just the knowledge and the wealth of knowledge that they have, is just sometimes it's unbelievable. And it does learn from those that have gone before you. I've always
yes,
believed that. So, well, Jerry, I appreciate today you sharing, about mindset and about your health journey and how that should apply to all business owners, and being able to give some of that advice to new agents. And I think some of that information that you just gave, even if you're an experienced agent, you need to hear that. And so I appreciate you sharing, some of those books and podcasts and people to follow. But Jerry, you've been in the business for over 30 years now. You're headquartered, we joke about it, your LPT headquarter, international headquarter in Willis, Texas. If you're not familiar with that, that's just north of Conroe, near Lake Conroe, suburb of the greater Houston area. Jerry, tell us a little bit about your business and the services that you offer.
okay. Well, we call it our world headquarters, and we're here in downtown Willis. And our specialty is residential real estate throughout Montgomery County and the surrounding area. We do land sales, we do leases, we do commercial transactions as well. But I would say our bread and butter are residential real estate sales primarily. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do it at a pretty high level. You're not the agent that does one or two deals a year. This is your full time career, and you do it at a very high level. You're recognized by a lot of other agents for your success as well. So congratulations. If somebody was thinking about buying a home, selling a home, investing in, property out in the Willis, Texas area, or maybe they're building a business and need a space for commercial, how do
Yes.
they get in contact with Jerry Walker and the Jerry Walker team?
They can call us. We have an office line here. It's 936-241-1100, or they can call me on my cell phone, 281-787-0429. And our website is hesalestexas.com.
So if you're looking for that help, go to hesalestexas.com. Reach out to Jerry today, and he and his team are going to take great care of you. Jerry, again, thank you for, taking the time out of your schedule. I know you could have done a million other things, but to come on here and be able to share, some information that I know is going to help some small business owners that take the time to listen in, and, for being on the 100th episode.
Oh,
Jerry,
wow.
glad to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're here for you. Thank you.
All right, until next time, onward and upward.